time for me to destroy you. I must be victorious for my queen!
You'll be okay, man.
What have I done?
What you did under Rita's influence. You own the power now. Fight by our side and we can defeat Rita.
After everything that's happened?
Tommy, we need you. It's where you belong. Will you join us, Tommy?
Oh, look, Sword
You're
Art.
watching History in the Making, Alpha. Finally, the prophecy has been fulfilled. The Sixth Ranger is now one of us. Welcome, White Ranger. The time has come to reveal your identity.
Guess who's back?
I don't believe it.
Morphin' time! Tiger Zord!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to News to the Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. Here to bring you some more unfortunate, sad news. And today, I'm going to be talking about the passing of Jason David Frank. And his passing was quite tragic. I mean, since when is any passing not tragic? But specifically, Jason David Frank's, like many others who've passed in a similar way to Jason David Frank, Jason, unfortunately, has committed suicide, and this has been confirmed by his rep. It felt like yesterday, even though it was like literally almost 2 weeks ago that Kevin Conroy was, passed away from cancer. But to find out that a very young man at 49 years old who did mixed martial arts, who had a lot going on for him, who had a huge fan base. I mean, if you all don't know, and this should go unsaid, but he was pretty much the white Power Ranger from the Power Rangers TV show from the 90s. And, just finding out this news today just really made me keep my mouth open, and I was just in shock overall. It's so depressing, and I'm practically at a loss for words. The Power Rangers brought so much joy to us kids from the 90s. I was obsessed with the Power Rangers. Personally, my favorite Power Ranger was the Red Ranger. Go figure, because red's my favorite color. So for those of you who've been watching my channel for quite a while, you would know red's my favorite color. I mean, just look at my YouTube channel. But for the first couple of hours today, his passing was unknown as far as like the cause of death. But then we found out later that it was due to suicide. And he did leave behind 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. I have this small article here from Variety. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'll just read a little bit of it. And then I'll talk about, what the Power Rangers and these specifically Jason David Frank's character meant to me. Jason David Frank, the actor who originated the role of Tommy Oliver, aka the Green Ranger in the Power Rangers franchise, died November 19th in Texas. He was only 49 years old. Frank's death was confirmed to the Associated Press by his manager, Justine Hunt. No further details about the actor's death could be confirmed, but she asked for the privacy of his family and friends during a horrible time was to come to terms with the loss of such a wonderful human being. This article was actually written a lot earlier today. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers premiered in 1993 in Fox Kids, airing for the 3 years for a young audience enthused by its dynamic casting of kung fu savvy vigilantes. The Power Rangers franchise has continued across multiple iterations and adaptations in the years since, with Frank often returning to his role in the series, becoming a beloved figure among the fan base. And that's one of the reasons why he had such a huge fan base, because he was so popular. People loved him. And I do firmly believe, and this is very apparent from his appearance from like the different versions of the Power Rangers series throughout the years, he loved the Power Rangers. He knew the amount of joy that it brought to children all around the world of different generations to come. And he was always so happy to be a part of that. Not only that, but the guy was an actual total badass in real life, an actual MMA fighter, really super competitive. And he was just, from what I hear, I'd never met the guy. He was so wholesome, so nice, and he was really nice to talk to. He would spend so much time with the fans who would make lines just to meet the guy and get an autograph. And he was just wonderful to be around with from what I hear. Again, I've never met him. I've always wanted to meet the Power Rangers, but I hope to meet some of the original ones one day. Frank's character was initially introduced as an antagonist in the series, placed under the spell by Rita Repulsa. At first, he did appear as a Green Ranger, but then he turned into the White Ranger afterwards. And a lot of people, you know, especially his co-stars, shared their disbelief in his death when they found out. So even Walter Jones, who was known as the Black Ranger in the show, he said he can't believe it. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. Walter Jones, one of Frank's co-stars on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, wrote on Instagram, "My heart is sad to have lost another member of our special family." So yeah, it's really, really a sad day for us 90s kids for the most part. I mean, the Power Rangers did play a big role. It had a huge impact in my childhood. For the longest time, I've always wanted to be the Red Ranger. The White Ranger was my second favorite Power Ranger, but, you know, for the longest, I've always wanted to be a Power Ranger. I've never really managed to actually get an actual replica Power Ranger suit. I did have one of those cheap Party City ones when I was a kid, though. I had a red one. I never forgot about that. But my apologies for digressing. Anyways, let me continue on. So for me, there are a lot of people out there that never strike me as the suicidal types. And this is really important because if you happen to be close with some people, like, you know, let's say, of course, your friends and some family members, I think it's always good to talk to them about stuff that's going on in their lives, just to get a little bit more in depth, if it's, of course, allowed. Like if you're talking to some friends, maybe they don't want to share something. You just never know what somebody's going through, really. I mean, just because Jason David Frank was who he was, and he was widely recognized for being a beloved character on a TV series and a well-respected actor and, of course, MMA fighter, doesn't mean that he's never gone through any kind of issues. I mean, what those issues may be are irrelevant, but I think it's very important just to talk to people who are maybe perhaps going through depression. As a person who's experienced depression so much, and I'm not saying he had any kind of depression, but usually having depression kind of leads to suicidal thoughts. It's very important to talk to those people, or at least if you're watching this and you're going through depression or having suicidal thoughts, talk to somebody, because you just never know. You may be saving your own life for those of you who are watching this, and for those of you who know of anybody who's going through those issues, reach out, lend a helping hand, because you may be also saving a life as well. Sad news for all of us today. We lost another legend. I'm just in shock. My condolences and my heart goes out to his friends and families. As I stated earlier in this video, the cause of death was a result of suicide. However, it hasn't been officially confirmed by the media, just to be exact, but so far it's being reported that it was caused by suicide. And as always, with every tragic death that occurs, please allow the family to have privacy and mourn for their lost loved ones, because this is always a tragic time and this is always the worst for their families and friends. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. You're a legend. You will be missed. And to the rest of you guys, have a good one. Stay safe out there.